A challenge in the Cauldron train yard. Fine, Nigma. I'll play your games, and I'll win. Selena's life depends on it.
Detective, you arrived! I thought Catwoman's little predicament might encourage your participation. I realized, you see, that the kind of image-obsessed narcissist who places bat symbols on his hubcaps would never willingly submit himself to the kind of humiliation I have in store. Yet, here you are, Detective. The humiliation is waiting below. Detective, it begins. You are staring, with stupefied incomprehension, at a mechanism I have calibrated to respond to an extremely precise radar pulse. In a moment, I will give you the decrypted code, Dark Knight. Oh, but first, I think we should run through the ground rules for tonight's festivities. Rule the first. You will address me at all times as Riddler, the Riddler, or Mr. Nigma, sir. Otherwise, Detective, I expect your patented brand of churlish silence. Rule the second. All gauntlets, cowl-integrated microphones, and other communications devices, bat-themed or otherwise, are to be switched off prior to the start of the test. Should you be caught using any of these, you will be expelled from the course. Rule the third. The use of purpose-built riddle-solving equipment is strictly prohibited. I am familiar with the contents of your utility belt, Detective, and I will be evaluating any sudden additions over the course of this evening most suspiciously. Rule the fourth. In the event of fire or flood, I will be on hand to guide you to the nearest emergency exit. Assuming, that is, you are not too proud to follow my advice. In that eventuality, we will consider your stubbornly prideful suicide an admission of defeat. Rule the fifth. Do not ask for clues. Rule the sixth. Should I, in my exasperation, choose to provide you with a clue, hint, obliquely meaningful insult, or any other form of assistance, you will not ask for further elucidation, but instead thank me for my kind generosity, whilst adhering to the forms of address outlined in the very first rule. Rule the seventh. Bathroom breaks will be administered on a discretionary basis. Should we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in your arduous journey to self-realization and defeat, I expect you to hold it in. Rule the eighth. Any accidents resulting from my strict enforcement of the seventh rule are to be considered your fault entirely. Rule the ninth. You are required to recite back to me this full list of rules at any moment I request. Again, keeping in mind the naming conventions I outlined in the very first rule. Rule the 10th. I, the Riddler/Mr. Nigma, sir, reserve the right to add or announce further rules if and when they become necessary. Yes, I know what you're thinking, Detective. Mr. Nigma, sir, knows how to meticulously structure a good time. In any case, Detective, I'm getting rather tired of the way your stupidity forces me to outline the basics like this. So here's that code you've been waiting for. Let's see how long it takes for you to figure out how to use it. Well done, Dark Knight. Isn't life more satisfying when you do as you're told? Welcome to my racetrack, Detective. You must complete 3 circuits of this gauntlet, finishing each before the time limit expires. Come now, Detective. Let's put that grotesque ego-mobile to the test. Be ready, Dark Knight. There's more to this test than just going vroom, vroom really fast. Tick-tock, Detective. Tick-tock. Oh, you incompetent boy racer. Can that ramshackle motor handle this? Dark Knight, faster! Can those flickering, faltering synapses keep up with my automatically adjusting force?
I'm disabling the afterburner's failsafe. I need the extra speed.
Oh, Dark Knight, that looked like it hurt. Did it? Let's work that undeveloped brain of yours. Once more onto the track, Dark Knight. Once more! No, Batman, you can't ride through solid objects. It's really basic physics. Oh, Detective, what's that I hear? Is it Time's winged chariot hurrying near? You're close, Detective. Don't fumble now. Don't fumble now. Hurry up, Detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin. Oh, dear, you seem to have failed. Is the vehicle to blame or the driver? Probably both. If you're feeling vainglorious enough for another attempt, Dark Knight, you must trundle back to the start of the course. Careful, Detective. I'd like the car to be working when I'm done. Clearer now that insane clown has been disposed of. Now you know who your real nemesis is. Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours. Relax, Dark Knight. The ordeal is over. Such a pity the laws of physics prohibit me from testing my non-Euclidean designs. Now then, Detective, hop on the pressure pad beside me. Listen carefully, Dark Knight. Your friend's life depends on it. Back in the orphanage, a series of glass cabinets have appeared in front of Catwoman. Isn't that right, my dear?
I see them, Eddie.
Good. One of those cabinets, my dear, has your first key inside. The others, they contain less useful keys. Keys that will unlock the admittedly slight contents of your skull all over the orphanage.
Okay, Batman. Let's see if you're as smart as they say. One down.
Well done to the pair of you. That's the first key collected. Don't expect to be sinking your claws into too many more. Too many more. Did you really believe that a challenge designed by me, the Riddler, would be quite so easy? Oh, Dark Knight, you sweet, naive sentinel, of course it wouldn't. But now I have several hundred terabytes of performance data relating to the latest model of rocket-powered hearse you're driving. With that in mind, I have prepared for you something a little less knuckle-whitening and rather more brow-furrowing in Chinatown. Hurry on over, detective, or it won't be curiosity that kills the cat.
Whatever Riddler's built beneath Chinatown, it's not going to stop me.
Well, Dark Knight, eager for more? It's humbling, isn't it? The opportunity to even glimpse my greatness, the dawning realization of just how insignificant, how unworthy of note you really are? These trials are my masterpieces, Detective. When I have defeated you, they will become monuments to my genius, testaments to your stupidity. Crowds of school children will pack themselves in this elevator, eager to see for themselves the place where the Dark Knight was defeated. They won't understand a thing, of course, but they'll come. A trial so elegantly simple that even you should manage a feeble grasp of the premise. You must provide power to this board, Detective. Detective? You know, Dark Knight, on balance, I don't think you're going to figure this out. You see this, Cat? This bumbling, incompetent fool? Your life depends on him! This isn't just a test of intelligence, Dark Knight. It's a test of skill. Mind the gap, Detective. Well done, Detective. Your true calling as a third-rate circus stuntman becomes clearer by the day. Congratulations, Dark Knight. You've earned the right to play the next part of the puzzle. Head over to the board.
Oh, joy. Time to play the...
Oh, this is too tense to watch. Thank goodness I'm recording it for posterity. Thank goodness. Come now, Batman. Can't figure out which key she should pick? Which key can't figure out?
You better be right, Batman. Head still attached? Great. Collar still attached? Not so great.
Congratulations! You've achieved the very minor victory of not being as stupid as you look. Not stupid as you look. Now, Catwoman, celebrate your survival by telling Batman all about the exciting orphanage development. Celebrate orphanage development.
No, you do it.
Now, Kitty. Kitty.
Why, Batman, there's a big, mysterious green door.
Yes, there is. Come back to the orphanage, Batman, and I'll let the pair of you through it. Well done, done, Dark Knight. You should, I hope, be beginning to comprehend the breadth of the tasks ahead of you, the sheer scale of the gauntlet I have thrown down. Or perhaps not. Perhaps you're feeling cocky. Perhaps these early victories have filled you with false hope. Well then, ride that wave of smug satisfaction all the way back to the orphanage. I'm waiting.
Orphanage.
Find something soon, I'm punching you in the face. Run! Give me half the money they spent on this army, and I'd kill the bat in 2 seconds.
Welcome back to the Riddletorium. Do not fear. Your friend has not been harmed. Before I allow you to see her, however, riddle me this. Riddle me this. What kind of question can only be asked upon reflection? Good luck. Good luck. No, Dark Knight, you're way off the mark. I see what you're trying to do. You're testing my patience, aren't you? Trying to drive me insane as I watch you struggle with that riddle. Well, ha, Batman, ha! I've made it easy. Now all you have to do is stand in the right place and scan. Well, it seems you have earned the right to see your friend. Why, she'll be as surprised as I am that you've made it this far.
Oh, good. You're back. Eddie wouldn't show me whatever deranged parlor game he's got waiting behind that door until you arrived.
I'll get you out of here.
I'm sorry, do I seem testy? It's probably something to do with the gorgeous necklace Eddie picked out for me. Have you seen it? It explodes. Well, are you going into the room or what?
Oh, I do hope you two are getting along. Because you'll need to work together if you want to find the key hidden in here. Find the key.
Well, this looks creepy. Someone's been reading Feng Shui for serial killers. Oh, great. Extra trapped. As if the collar wasn't enough.
Oh, Batman, Catwoman, neither of you is getting out of there without the other's help.
Oh, look. It's more of Eddie's homemade friends.
Your mockery is pointless, Cat. I don't have any friends at all. You simply won't solve this one unless you can see things from each other's point of view. You'll never get out of here if you don't learn to communicate. Two questions and two answers, children. But which goes where? You simply won't solve this one unless you can see things from each other's point of view. You'll never get out of here if you don't learn to communicate. Two questions and two answers, children. But which goes where? You simply won't solve this one unless you can see things from each other's point of view. You'll never get out of here if you don't learn to communicate. Two questions and two answers, children. But which goes where? You simply won't solve this one unless you can see things from each other's point of view. Point of view. You'll never get out of here if you don't learn to communicate. Well, there we go. It's settled. You're not quite as dumb as each other. Congratulations, Catwoman. Batman, you're lagging behind. Oh, Dark Knight. I can barely describe to you what a pleasure it is to see your brow furrow over the simplest of conundrums. I do apologize for not creating a riddle that you can merely pound into submission. Here, why don't you take out your frustrations on my automated assistant? My programming animates these beautiful creations, Dark Knight. My engineering gave them shape. Not one of your absurd...
There's plenty here. Take your pick.
Every robot you defeat merely provides more data for me to analyze, Dark Knight. Quite liberating to have freed myself from reliance on Gotham's ill-educated muscle, Detective. Well then, it seems you've earned another key.
This is going to take all night, isn't it? Can't leave the key. Well, that was fun. At least I got to hit something.
How are you holding up?
I'm fine. I don't need your concern. Just your help getting this thing off.
I wouldn't celebrate just yet, you two. Dark Knight, my next challenge can be found beneath Elliott Memorial Hospital. Conveniently located for when you pass out due to mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion.
You still haven't apologized.
For what?
For Eddie treating me like a white hat. Like one of your sidekicks. You know, half the crooks in Gotham think I feed you info.
You do.
Well, yeah, when there's something in it for me. They think I'm doing it on principle.
Sorry for making criminals think less of you.
Hey, have I ever hurt anyone? I'm not one of the bad guys, Batman. I'm freelance.
You should pick a side, Selina.
Your side should pay better. Batman, the next tests are ready, and I really can't wait to play the Will My Head Explode game again.
Riddler's next trial's in Bristol. He's losing Alfred, and that makes him dangerous.
Perhaps the real challenge is tolerating his relentless self-aggrandizing commentary.
I'm telling you, we should split. What happens if the Bat decides to break all our limbs? In case you forgot,
The preliminaries are done with, Dark Knight. I hope you understand that. Oh, had I so wished, you'd have failed before you had even begun to comprehend the very first hurdle. But no, no, no. I wanted you to know the full extent of my brilliance, you understand? To fully appreciate my superiority. But now, well, I'm not going easy on you anymore. Another racetrack detective, but please, do not let its unique peculiarities crush your spirit. Well, shall we begin? No, Dark Knight, you are not losing what little grip you had on reality. You've merely entered a brave new world of my design. Another racetrack detective, but please, do not let its unique peculiarities crush your spirit. Well, shall we begin? No, Dark Knight, you are not losing what little grip you had on reality. You've merely entered a brave new world of my design. Another racetrack detective, but please, do not let its unique peculiarities crush your spirit. Well, shall we begin? No, Dark Knight, you are not losing what little grip you had on reality. You've merely entered a brave new world of my design. I control these. That ceiling applies 300 dead bats of pressure, Detective. I invented the measurement myself. I built this course in a sewer, Detective. You needed the home team advantage. Onward, Batman! Or does the Dark Knight require a pit stop? Very good, Dark Knight! Again! Careful now, Batman. You didn't go to all the trouble of painting that thing just the right shade of black in order to scuff it. Have you noticed, Batman? The walls of inevitability are closing in. I'm cranking it up. 500 dead bats of pressure. Careful, detective. I'd like the car to be working when I'm done. Feeling claustrophobic, detective? Get ready for the final lap. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an unredeemable idiot? What a fitting end for you, detective. A stain on my floor. Crushed, flattened, pulverized. Any second now. It's time. 1,000 dead bats of pressure. Careful, Dark Knight. That car has some value, even if you don't. Enough! Another lap would be the end of you, Dark Knight, and I can't quite bring myself to stop the fun so soon. Your next key awaits.
Oh, good. The fun part.
Ready to die, my dear? Oh, can't decide, Dark Knight.
And here we go.
Congratulations, Catwoman. You proved yourself able to follow simple directions. I must say, Dark Knight, that your desperate fumblings have exceeded my admittedly rather meager expectations. I am impressed. This must be how naturalists felt upon observing chimpanzees using tools for the first time. Did you know, Detective, that the cleverest chimps can even obey simple instructions? It's true. Let's try it, shall we? Go to Gotham Casino for your next test, and I'll give you a banana.
Riddler's trial's in Kingston. He's been toying with me so far, enjoying the sense of control. I doubt he'll be playing games much longer.
Heaven knows how his insanity has manifested itself this time.
Oh, Detective, I can't tell you how pleased I am that you're playing along with my little game. You literally cannot imagine what it's like to be so intellectually removed from the rest of the human race. I couldn't honestly say you offer me a battle of wits, Dark Knight, but your feeble resistance makes a pleasant change from the instant capitulation of everyone else. Oh dear, Dark Knight. What a pity you couldn't bring the Batwing to this one. Hurry along, Dark Knight. This isn't rocket science. Stumped, Dark Knight? I can see your brain flying through the possibilities. Come now, Dark Knight. Don't force me to eject you from the chamber. Very good, Dark Knight. Since you insist on dressing like a flying rat, I thought I'd put those abilities to the test. That's two down, Detective. You be careful of the death trap en route to the next one.
Death trap.
The only mammal capable of flight. Since all you do is glide, you're actually a variety of squirrel. Contrary to popular belief, very few bats survive on blood. Most species subsist on insects, whereas you prefer to live off undeserved praise. Creatures known to prey on bats include hawks, owls, spiders, falcons, and yes, of course, me. Good work, Detective. You are literally as capable as the digit-flapping mammal you pointlessly pretend to be. The next key awaits you.
I can't leave until I've helped Selina choose her key.
More cabinets. Great. I love this part.
Good luck, Catwoman. Given Batman's limited intelligence, I'm afraid you're going to need it. Now you're merely stuck. But when that collar detonates, you'll be stumped.
Okay, time to possibly maybe die. Well, this is not how I wanted to spend my night.
Another key collected. I trust you're not giving her false hope, Detective.
Oh good, more fun.
Well, Dark Knight Detective, you have passed another test. I cannot help but admire the spirit with which you have thrown yourself into a task for which you are woefully under-equipped. I almost feel guilty when I contemplate what's coming, but not so guilty that I'm going to call it off. Head back to the orphanage, Detective. Another of my riddle rooms is waiting.
I'm going back to the orphanage. Celine is waiting.
I can only imagine what cruel game Mr. Nigma has in store for you and Miss Kyle.
Anybody seen that anarchy guy?
How are you doing?
Can't fault the entertainment. Eddie just lectured me on the 13 innovations that let him pack this collar with his custom-designed plastic explosive.
You must be honored.
At being what? Your motivation? Come on, the next puzzle room's waiting.
Greetings to my costumed contestants. Your next challenge is simple. Guide an electric charge to its destination. I hope the varying amounts of pressure don't get to you.
Another one? What's Eddie's problem?
Fanatic narcissism, egocentrism, and megalomania, crossed with severe obsessive compulsion.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. Found your way to move further when I step on the pads.
You are getting older. Maybe it's time to add a few extra notches to the utility belt. Don't shove. Move over, would you?
Congratulations to the dementedly dressed duo. Your key awaits. Oh, but what's this? An electrified floor?
Electrified floor?
You do it. You still owe me for Arkham City.
Goodness, you figured it out already. Well, meet the second generation of my android allies. I've built a variant specifically tailored to each of your dubious abilities.
Leave the blue ones to me. To me.
highly efficient production line.
Stay with me. The red ones are mine.
All the danger of battle combined with all the fun of riddle solving. You can thank me after. Thank me.
Leave the red ones to me.
I don't think you'll be solving this one. Goodness, you figured it out already. Well, you meet the second generation of my droid allies. I built a variant specifically tailored to each of your dubious abilities.
Leave those ones to me. You can do this. The red ones are mine.
There's more where that came from, Batman. I built a highly efficient production line.
Leave the red ones to me.
You know what, Detective? I'm glad you solved this riddle. Because it takes you one step closer to the riddle that kills you.
Riddle that kills you.
Eddie really hates you, doesn't he?
He's an ego-driven narcissist who can't let anyone else win.
Gee, if only you'd met under different circumstances.
His obsession's getting worse. He's going after my allies.
Ally? After this, I think we should dial it back to known associate for a while.
This was nothing, Dark Knight, nothing. A new trial awaits you, Detective, by Divinity Church, and I'm waiting too.
So Joker dies, takes half the crime in Gotham with him, and I don't hear from you for months. What's that about?
I've been busy.
Look, I know you two were close, but you've got to get back out there. Meet new maniacs. You can't mourn him forever.
He left some loose ends behind. Selina, where were you last Friday, between midnight and 1 a.m.?
Giving blood. No, wait. Volunteering. Why?
There was a break-in at the Museum of Gotham. A valuable gemstone was stolen.
What? No. Who could do such a thing?
Just put it back.
Look, if it was you stuck here and I happened to pass by one of Eddie's courses, I would definitely head inside. Look, I'd be doing those courses if it was you in here. Probably.
I'm headed to Divinity Church. Riddler won't give up, Alfred. His pride won't let him.
You'll break his spirit, sir. I've every confidence.
I get caught like last time.
The unexamined life is not worth living, Detective. And I've been wondering why I let you aggravate me so. You're a cheat and a liar. A dressed-up strongman playing with expensive toys. World's greatest detective. Ha! And everyone from Gotham to Star City believes it. I cannot abide a fraud detective, a dilettante masquerading amongst his intellectual betters, stealing every last scrap of appreciation, dignity, and respect. Welcome, Detective, to the drain I'm going to figuratively and quite possibly literally flush you down. The goal of this aquatic examination could not be simpler, Detective. Lower the water like so. Before that, however, it's time for a riddle. Riddle me this, Detective. What do bats do when they're at home? Careful, Detective, or those blades will open up the car like a tin can. You being the expired hunk of stale meat inside. Well done, Detective. I think you're getting the hang of it.
Riddle me this. What's dead? You!
Welcome, Detective, to the drain I'm going to figuratively and quite possibly literally flush you down. The goal of this aquatic examination could not be simpler, Detective. Lower the water like so. Before that, however, it's time for a riddle. Riddle me this, Detective. What do bats do when they're at home? Don't leave me hanging, detective.
Riddle me this. What's dead? You!
Welcome, detective, to the train I'm going to figuratively and quite possibly literally flush you down. The goal of this aquatic examination be simpler, detective. Lower the water like so. Before that, however, it's time for a riddle. Riddle me this, detective. What do bats do when they're at home? That's one Batman. The water might be lower, but you're still out of your depth.
I can't do that. I need to get clear. I can't do that while I'm standing here.
Don't leave me hanging, detective. The answer is right above your nose. Above your nose. Not quite, detective.
Detective.
Detective, or those blades will...
Your death was inevitable, I'm afraid. A statistical certainty.
Look at you, detective. Hanging there in that hideous machine like a particularly ugly chandelier. Why, the water is almost as low as Catwoman's chances of freedom. Why don't you celebrate with my friends? I wanted you to destroy the robot. I did. It's all part of my immaculately constructed master plan. So there. Detective, since that car is quite clearly an extension of your ego, I thought you'd take better care of it. Struggling, Detective? I'm afraid you're running several minutes behind my projections. Ah! This is why my projections were off. I failed to consider both your incompetence and your stupidity as two distinct variables. Apologies, Detective. I will recalculate post-haste. You are barely keeping up to the precise degree my equations predict. Careful on your way out.
The drone sensors are temporarily disabled, but I can only hack one at a time, so the previous drone will be back online.
line between perfectly designed riddle and unfair death trap really comes down to user error. That was part of the plan too, Batman. It's all part of the plan.
The plan.
Go get your key. Go.
Hey, Eddie. Can't we play a different game? This one's getting old.
Good luck, Catwoman. Given Batman's limited intelligence, I'm afraid you're going to need it.
Here's hoping Eddie hasn't started cheating. And they say black cats are bad luck.
Another key. Well done. Of course, you'll lose all 9 lives in an instant should I push this detonator.
Another door unlocked. What a surprise.
I have always been the smartest man in the room, Detective, forced to endure the suspicions and mockery of those whose meager mental faculties prohibited them from appreciating that fact. And then you appear in Gotham, dressing up your cognitive capabilities marginally superior as they are to that of the average hoodlum, in the guise of a crusading hero. And oh, how the people swoon. To the orphanage, hero! It's time to rejoin Catwoman for another trial.
Selena's still trapped in the orphanage. Together, we'll get her out.
Oh, God. What's he doing? What's he doing? He's tailing us. Keep driving. Look, the Arkham Knight's just some tough guy with a bunch of soldiers for hire at his...
You're back.
I said I'd get you out of here.
I know. It's just... nothing. Let's get to the next room, okay? Before my head explodes? Come on, then. Let's jump through Eddie's next hoop. You know, I'm kind of looking forward to whatever he's got lined up next. It's more interesting than waiting for you.
Well, hello again to my favorite comedy double act. I'd just like to say what a novelty it's been constructing riddle chambers for 2 half-wits instead of 1. Why, that's practically a whole wit between you. Dark Knight, when you've failed your feline friend and are done mourning over her headless corpse, perhaps we'll do this again with, Robin? Or maybe that prodigal son of yours over in Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven.
Can you get up there?
The ceiling? Easy.
Riddle me this. Can a maze still amaze if it doesn't have walls? Don't be afraid, Dark Knight. Just step into the light. Riddle me this. Can a maze still amaze if it doesn't have walls? Oh, come now, detective. I really couldn't be shining more of a light upon the problem.